Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Birds in the Trap MMA, and I'm back with another banger. Alright, today I'm going to be bringing to you the best champion in each division that never defended their title. Now, this doesn't mean they don't have multiple title wins, alright? This just means that on paper, like Anthony Smith, they don't have a defense on their record. Alright, some of these may surprise you. Some of these may be a little obvious. I think we're going to get a good mix of both. So, yeah, side note, guys, UFC is back this weekend. Thank God. I might make a fight night prediction card. I'm not too sure yet, though. If I need a video, I'll make it. But, I mean, the fight night prediction videos, they never perform too well. So I might do it just to get my picks out there. And another thing I want to bring up, guys, I've been thinking about making an Instagram for the YouTube channel, just where I can, let you guys know what's going on with uploads, drop more predictions, notify you guys when videos are coming out, and overall just kind of bring the community together. So if you guys think that's a good idea, let me know in the comments below if you'd actually follow it. As long as the thing gets like 5 followers, I'll go through with it. But yeah, so be on the lookout for that soon. And finally, I just want to say before we get into this video, guys, the channel's been doing pretty well recently. Videos have been getting good views, and I realized I never ever ask. So I'm going to ask that you guys look at this graph and you see how many viewers are not actually subscribed. So if you've been enjoying my content recently, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. It makes a big difference. And if not, then maybe just a like on the video. That would be dope too. But if none, then alright, whatever. Moving on to the video. Alright, I'm going to bring the camera in here. What's going on, guys? Alright, just had to leave it off for the intro. Because I noticed in another video that my camera was chopping off my text. And I was like, fuck, I can't have that. So anyways, guys, we're starting off with the flyweight division. As you can see, Brandon Moreno takes it. And due to the lack of champions in the flyweight division, we don't really have a choice. It would have been Pantoja, but he just got a damn title defense. And by the way, it looks like he's going to hold the division down for a while. Just want to put that out there. But yeah, Brandon Moreno, it has to be. Obviously, Demetrius Johnson has defenses. Obviously, Cejudo technically has a defense. Davison Figueiredo, he's got a defense. So we're left with Brandon Moreno because he's the only one. All right. It doesn't seem like he would have no title defenses because he has 3 title wins. But one of them was winning the belt, okay? One of them was an interim belt, okay? And then one of them was reclaiming the belt. So 3 title wins, very impressive. 3-time champion, technically 2-time champion, but never actually defended the belt. So maybe he'll get another title shot if he beats fucking Albazi, which I wouldn't be surprised if they were to give him one, because to be fair, his third fight with Pantoja, where Pantoja beat him for the belt, was a really good fight, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again, but the UFC just loves putting Moreno in title fights, man. I think it's because of that UFC Mexico pay-per-view. They want that. So, like I said, man, if Moreno beats Albazi, he'll probably get another title shot. And Moreno just can't beat Pantoja, plain and simple. Pantoja's beaten him 3 times. And, yeah, Moreno is an amazing fighter. Moreno is insanely well-rounded and overall really good. And he's super young, but he has taken a lot of damage. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't see him reclaiming that belt, let alone defending it. But I do think he will win his next fight, all right? So moving on to the bantamweight division, we got Petr Yan, man. Petr Yan, so sad, the story of Petr Yan. And I don't think that there is a close second for this pick, guys. I got a damn typo on the slide, man. It says close second, period, was cruising. It's supposed to say Yan was cruising his way through the first Aljo fight, and the second Aljo fight, it was very competitive, very close. Aljo did win that shit 3-2, and the O'Malley fight was close. Now hold up, because I said in another video that the Yan and O'Malley fight was a robbery. Y'all fucking came at me. I didn't know so many O'Malley glazers thought that fight was like clearly for O'Malley. That was a competitive ass fight. That fight can go either way. So, and I still give it to Yan. So I'm not saying it's a robbery. I'm calling it a competitive fight. Don't come at me. But Yan won that shit, right? So he only really lost badly when he fought Merab, which was a 50-45 decision. Yan just fucking got Merab'd. You know what I mean? Yan was looking like a Terminator when he won the belt. He looked like he was going to hold down the division for a long time. And he is one of the biggest what-ifs in MMA. As far as, like, if he never threw the illegal knee in the Sterling fight, it's like, where would he have gone? Probably win that fight, probably defend against Sandhagen, probably defend against O'Malley somehow, and then probably not lose up until Merab. So he'd have, like, a shit ton of defenses, you know what I mean? He also has an interim title win against Sandhagen. Amazing win. If we're just going to not give a fuck about the first Aljo fight being a DQ, then I guess this is kind of a defense, but he did win an interim belt here, so in an amazing fight. Let me add that before we move on to the featherweight division. Now, if you know the lineage of these next two divisions, you may know that there is one man in particular who kind of fucked up the whole thing, all right? And that man is Conor McGregor, all right? He's the pick for featherweight and lightweight, because in featherweight, every other champion has defended, okay? In lightweight, the only other champion who hasn't defended was beat by Conor. All right, it's Eddie Alvarez. So here we are, man. Conor McGregor fucking shit up. And, yeah, Conor never put either title up for grabs. He was stripped due to inactivity for both of them. He won the featherweight belt in 13 seconds against the second best featherweight of all time, Jose Aldo. Second best, I said it. And TKO'd the only other lightweight champion to not defend the belt, which is Eddie Alvarez, all right? And a famous quote from Conor McGregor, guys: "No way in hell I will vacate no way in hell I will vacate featherweight title if I get a shot at the lightweight belt." All right, man. It's going to take an army to get those belts off him. Obviously, I'm fucking around. Yeah, but so it's fucking Conor, man. There's no other way to put it. He takes the cake for both of these. And yeah, let's move on to the welterweight division. Okay, it's Johnny Hendricks. This picture is real. I don't know if this is my shitty connection or actually his picture, but when I went on the UFC website and tried to pluck his picture, this is what it looked like, man. So that's not your screen bugging, that's mine. Or it's the UFC's. I don't know. But anyways, we only have two to pick from here. Johnny Hendricks and Carlos Newton. Those are the only two who have no title defenses. And Carlos Newton is just a little too old. So we are going with Hendricks. Something that does matter on this list is like your competition. You know, I'm always going to prefer a modern day fighter over a fighter who fought 20 years ago. So Carlos Newton, you're just a little too old, buddy. And either way, Hendricks has better wins than Newton. So it's like, who gives a fuck? He arguably beat GSP, okay, someone that a lot of people call the GOATs. I'm not going to give my opinion on that fight. But if you are going to have a winner, it is probably Hendricks. I ain't going to lie, I haven't seen that fight. I only saw the Weasels video. But he had a fight of the year when he won the vacant belt against Robbie Lawler. So he did beat Robbie Lawler for the belt, and he rematched him and lost it. All right, so no title defenses, but he does get that one championship win. As you can see, we got a picture down here. I've had a picture for everyone. I forgot to point that out. I've had a picture for everyone's title win, but he didn't have a great run after the belt. He's someone where we could make a biggest downfalls video and he'd be on it, you know what I mean? But he's in the history books as a champion, guys, so it is what it is. Johnny Hendricks, you're the pick for welterweight. All right, middleweight, Robert Whittaker. All right, there are a few options here. If, like, I could see going with Alex Pereira, okay? I'm also just a huge Alex Pereira fan, but I simply can't because his time in that division was so short-lived. If he went on to lose to Izzy and then beat like Whitaker, Costa, if he went on to build some more legacy at middleweight, you could say Alex Pereira. All right, who the fuck else was I thinking? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Robert Whitaker is the pick, okay? He's certainly the best skill-wise and resume-wise. Trumps all. All my homies love Whitaker, all right? He has 2 title wins, okay? He has 1 interim title win, and he was promoted to the undisputed champion, and he beat Romero in both title fights. And the Romero fight, it technically isn't a title defense because Romero missed weight. What a surprise, guys. I know. Romero missing weight. I'm just fucking around, but he's still got the belt wrapped around him, but I don't think Bruce actually said "and still" or "and new," because he was the undisputed champ going into the second Romero fight. And he beat Romero clearly in both of those fights. Let's just make that clear. He had a layup. This pisses me off, man. He had a layup title defense in Kelvin Gastelum because he went on to beat Kelvin Gastelum later on. He had a layup title defense at UFC 234, but he pulled out like hella close to the fight. It was either like the day of or the weigh-in day. I think he had some like... Remind me, guys, why did Whitaker pull out? A hernia? Something like that? Is that what I remember? I don't know. I think he had some sort of medical problem really close to the fight, so he pulled out. Adesanya versus Anderson Silva became the pay-per-view main event for UFC 234. And then he fought Izzy, and obviously he lost, and Izzy held down the division for a long time, and he beat Whitaker in a rematch, although it was very close. A lot of people like to give that fight to Whitaker. Me personally, bro, I've only watched that fight once live, and I was fucking not sleeping, but I was so zoned out. I'm not gonna lie, man. That fight was not interesting to watch, so I don't really care who you give that fight to. But let's move on to light heavyweight, guys. Yuri Prochazka is my pick, and light heavyweight and heavyweight, they have a ton of champions, okay? So if you're an old head, you might not love this one, but it came down to Yuri and Glover for me. Because they were champions more recently, they've proven themselves against tough modern day competition. Okay, this goes back to what I was talking about. If you're winning fights in the early 2000s that are technically title fights, great. But who the fuck are you fighting, right? Where it's like Yuri and Glover, they're beating guys who have either fought for the belt or are on their way up. And like our modern day UFC championship level fighters. You guys get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying if you're watching this channel. And it just comes down to who I think can win more matches, and that's Yuri. That's Yuri, man. I know they had a razor close fight. Yuri ended up getting the win with 30 seconds left. But in terms of who wins more matchups, it's got to be Yuri. Yuri, he vacated his belt before his first defense due to a horrible shoulder injury. He was going to rematch Glover Teixeira, if you guys didn't know. And he recently came back and lost to current champion Alex Pereira. Current champion now, not current champion going into that fight. There was no champion going into that fight. And this motherfucker Yuri, he won the belt in his 3rd UFC fight. That is pretty amazing. Pretty dope accomplishment. And I'm not considering Jamal Hill, because yes, he is an undisputed champion that vacated the title, but till I see him come back, I just really don't care about him. I think he was a placeholder for Yuri, and then, you know, it was the opportunity of a lifetime for Jamal Hill, and then vacated the title. Now he's all salty about it. I made a whole video on Salty Man Hill. You guys should check it out. It's on the channel. But I'm not, man, fuck you. I'm not counting Jamal Hill. All right, Yuri was the champ up until 295, and that's just facts. And he's my pick here. And I think he's going to beat Rakic. I've seen a lot of people say that Rakic is going to just kind of wet blanket him. And while that is definitely possible, I think he's going to beat Rakic. Yuri is that type of guy, right? Unless his shoulder is completely done now after the injury. But it's not like he was finished too badly. So yeah, Yuri's going to beat Rakic. Moving on to heavyweight division. Are you kidding me? I didn't put a picture. Guys, I'm going to put a picture real quick. Adapt and overcome. All right, that is what we are all about on this channel. Okay, guys, that last bit never happened. All right, we're keeping it in because I got to get a fucking video out, man. I was about to go on a tangent, but I got to be more consistent. Anyways, heavyweight, it's Fabricio Verdum. All right, another division where a ton of guys have multiple title defenses. So that just leaves us with Fabricio Verdum. All right, I picked him over Frank Mir, who was the only other option. Because I prefer modern day skill sets, and Verdum was a champion later than Mir. And I honestly don't have too much to say here. Okay, most of the other guys, not all of them, most of the other guys, I was a fan and watched them gain the title type shit. Verdum, I didn't see him win the title, but you know, he was my pick just off of resume. All right, because Frank Mir, like I said, too old. Every other champion has defended it. Okay, Verdum technically does have an interim title win over Mark Hunt, I believe. So he does have 2 title wins. But right now, we're looking at this one. I should have put that fucking other picture. But I wish Ngannou or DC didn't have a defense, because I could put them here instead. I would much rather one of them be on here because I'd have more to say. But DC has a fucking defense over Derek Lewis, and Ngannou obviously has a defense over Cyril Gane. So we're left with Fabricio Verdum. We're going to take what we can get. All right, he's the pick here. All right, guys, bit lackluster to end it off, but where did I mess up? All right, let me know, and let me move myself and make it bigger. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what I should do next, okay? I seriously consider all comments that leave video ideas, and if I fuck with your idea enough, I'll drop it in the video. I'll give you a shout out. All right. Oh yeah, let me know what you guys think of the idea of starting an Instagram for the channel. I think I'm gonna do it either way, probably by the end of the week, but still let me know, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.